Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
If your company is a purely service-based organization and you do not handle any sales that involve inventory tracking, you can create a group of services that hides the display of any sub-items in a group. This lets your invoices display only the total and description for any groups displayed on a printed invoice. However, the items in the group appear individually when viewing the invoice during its creation phase. This action mimics the use of the group item from QuickBooks Pro for a service-only company. To enable this feature, you must disable Track Inventory Quantity on Hand. If you have any inventory you track with QuickBooks Online Plus, this is not an option you want to enable. Start by clicking the gear icon, and then clicking the Account and Settings link under the Your Company heading in the drop-down menu. In the Account and Settings window that opens, click the Sales tab at the left side of the screen, and then click the Sales Form Content section to the right. Then uncheck the Service Date checkbox. Then click the Save button in this section to save the change. Next, click the Products and Services section. In the Products and Services section, uncheck the Track Quantity and Price or Rate checkbox, or ensure it is unchecked. Also, uncheck the Track Inventory Quantity on Hand checkbox, or ensure it is unchecked. Again, do not do this if your company needs to keep track of the quantity of inventory you have on hand. Click the Save button in this section to save the changes. Then click the Done button in the lower right corner of the Account and Settings window to close it. Click the gear icon, and then click the Custom Form Styles command under the Your Company heading in the drop-down menu. To create a new form style, click the New Style button in the upper right corner of the page, and then select the Invoice command from the drop-down menu. To edit an existing form instead, you can simply click the Edit link from the Action Columns drop-down menu for the invoice form to edit. Clicking the New Style button or following the Edit link opens the Style section of the invoice form. This lets you choose a style, logo, color, and other appearance-related settings. Type a name for the invoice form into the field at the top of this section. Then click the Content button at the top of the page to view the sections of the invoice in the area to the right. Click the white pencil icon in the upper right corner of the Activity section or Line Items section to edit it. In the Columns section to the left, uncheck the Date, Quantity, and Rate checkboxes to remove those items from the invoice. Then click the Show More Activity Options link to display additional options directly below the Columns section. Here, check the Collapse Activity Rows checkbox. When finished, click the Done button in the lower right corner of the page. Now you must create the grouped item. To do this, click the gear icon, and then click the Products and Services link under the Lists heading in the drop-down menu to open the Products and Services page. Click the New button in the upper right corner of the page. In the Product Service Information pane that appears, click the Service choice, and then enter the same information for the name and the Description on Sales Forms fields. Do not enter a sales price or rate for this item. Choose the Save and New option from the Save and Close drop-down button. You then create each subservice for the grouped item. When creating each subservice, check the Is Subproduct Service checkbox and then select the name of the parent item you initially created. Enter whatever you want for the name of the subservice. However, in the Description on Sales Forms field, enter the exact same description you entered into the Description on Sales Forms field of the parent item you created. This is a very important step. The description on sales forms of the parent service item and the description on sales forms for any sub-service items must be exactly the same. Line items and invoices only collapse if the description in sales forms and the rate fields are the same. You removed the rate field at the start of the process, so you must ensure the description is the same for all the sub-services you create. Continue the process until you have created all of the sub-services you need. When finished, you are ready to use the service group in an invoice. To ensure you are using the correct form after creating a new invoice, click the Customize button in the toolbar at the bottom of the screen and then select the name of the invoice style you just created for the service group. Then select the name of the parent item in the first line of the invoice. Select the first sub-service of the parent item. Enter the amount to charge the customer for this sub-service into the Amount column for each sub-service. Also, ensure the description shown for each sub-service exactly matches the description of the parent item. Repeat this process for the number of sub-services you need to add to the invoice. When the entries are complete, click the Print or Preview button and then click the Print or Preview command to automatically save the invoice and open a preview of the invoice. Your invoice should show the single line item name and description with a grand total. Print the invoice and then close the preview window.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.